Good evening. Hi, I'm Gloria Jean Sykes, founder and director of Bon Ami Foundation.
Hi, I'm Janice Triptow, and I'm the animal behavior consultant for the foundation.
Today we have a very special show, but let me just go back and reiterate who and what Bon Ami Foundation does. We are specific for cancer survivors, but one of our programs, Adopt a Furry Friend and Save Two Lives program, deals with the healing qualities of both cats and dogs. Our pilot program, we have a very special dog, Delilah, who is right now in foster care. And we have Chuck and Sarah. Hello, Chuck and Sarah.
Hi.
Hi.
And Kellyanne.
How you doing?
And they are actually taking care of our first dog that is in training. Before we get into that, I'm going to have Janice talk a little bit about our program, how we get our dogs, and how Chuck, Kelly, and Sarah are involved.
Well, what we've decided to do is to review the pool of candidates of dogs from different shelter groups and rescue groups and places that house homeless animals, dogs and cats. In this particular instance, Gloria located this dog online. Sarah located this dog online, I think, with a rescue group. And Gloria and Sarah thought that this would be a great dog to give a try to.
Let's say, Sarah, what did you like about Delilah?
Well, Delilah is a very, very sweet dog, but although since she has a phobia of males, it's kind of upsetting and it kind of worries me. But Delilah is already knows, she knows how to sit very well and like how to walk on a leash. But otherwise, he's a really good dog besides has a phobia of males.
But Sarah, what did you see when you and I were looking online? What did you see? Why did you feel, what made you like Delilah so much?
It said that she was very great with families, and she just was a very, very sweet dog.
Okay, and that is one of our problems, is sometimes a dog is, it's said to have a certain disposition.
Well, anytime you get a dog that's rehomed and you are not getting the dog from the owner, the information is only good as the giver of the information. And anytime you get a dog into a shelter or into certain foster situations, the environment tends to be pretty artificial. So the dog may not show all of its personality, so to speak. So as a result of that, when you are looking for dogs to fill certain bills or to fulfill certain requirements, you really need to give those dogs an opportunity to become confident, become more settled where they are. If you just look at a dog in a shelter, you aren't necessarily going to see the spectrum of behaviors that dog is capable of.
Now, one of the behaviors that we believe the dog had a problem with children, babies particularly. And here we have, there's Delilah. Here we have Kelly and her baby and Delilah. Kelly, how do you feel? I mean, obviously you have by this picture and others that you provided us, you have no fear of Delilah being around your baby.
No, I don't have any fear at all. As a matter of fact, I think I would have a lot more fear of a stranger coming near the baby because Delilah is very protective of her. But what struck me so well when we first got her was how well she did do with the baby. She really bonded with the baby and had no adverse reaction towards her whatsoever, which was really, me personally, I was very happy to see.
Now, I would like to remind everybody, our viewing audience, we're so glad that you're visiting us tonight. Please call in at 312-738-1060. We'd love to know your views. Delilah will be up for adoption at a certain point. Whether or not she becomes a full bon-ami dog for a cancer survivor, or whether or not we find a loving home for her, we will never leave Delilah out. I mean, she will never go back into a shelter, and we, Bon Ami, are committed to making sure that we work with Delilah. Now, Chuck, Delilah had problems when you came into the house. Now, we heard your granddaughter say that Delilah has a problem with men. What have you observed, and how is your relationship today with Delilah?
She's very leery of any strange people at all. She bonded well with the family pretty soon, and we've always had big dogs. And at the time that Delilah became available, and you needed a temporary sponsor, we didn't have a dog. But men especially, she's growl and snarl and just would have a really hard time with any male that she didn't know. And we were careful to try and bring her around and be quiet with her. In fact, she's sitting at my feet right now getting petted. But feeding her by hand and
when she first came to you, Chuck, when she first came to you, how did she initially treat you?
Oh, she just barked and growled and snarled and didn't want anything to do with me. Wanted me away, gone.
Okay, so it took some time for you to gain her trust and for the two of you to develop your own relationship. So how long has she been with you?
About 6 weeks now.
Okay, so it took, how long did it take before she felt comfortable enough to have you around her?
Probably about 3 weeks before she could be around me without one of the female members of my house around in close proximity. It was about 3 weeks.
Okay. And so in the next 3 weeks, your relationship develops so that she sits by you, she asks you for petting, she does all those things that you would think a dog would do?
Oh, yeah, sure. In fact, her progress has been amazing. From her first reaction, I didn't think there was the chances that she would get so she would tolerate me or even like me were very slim. But she's sitting at my feet right now getting petted.
I want to just let our audience know that Chuck and Katie, his wife, Katie, happens to be a cancer survivor. It's not going to be normal that our dogs are going to be foster cared with cancer survivors, but Katie is a breast cancer survivor. One of the important things about any dog or cat being in a home is that they have healing qualities. This family that we have is like an extended family. Kelly, the love of her life, is in Iraq right now. That's Sarah's daddy. So my question is, having Delilah in the house at this juncture, do you find that there is some kind of healing, that there is some kind of pleasure to having her, even though you know that she's soon going to be adopted out?
Oh, sure. She's a sweet animal, and Sarah's my granddaughter, and Sarah's other grandmother is also a cancer survivor and has a dog and a couple of cats.
Sarah?
Yeah?
How do you feel about having Delilah around?
Well, it's a great opportunity because she's a big responsibility and all, but it all pays off because it's just like a little person being around. You just love them a lot.
Again, I'm going to remind people they can call in Bon Ami Foundation, 312-738-1060. Let's get into the whole bond between animal and human.
Sarah, when Delilah came, did you work? You worked with her on some things, didn't you?